Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from Ben Holladay. This is the Missouri Straight Bourbon Whiskey, bottled in bond, coming in at a 50% ABV, 6-year age statement. So, more recently, this finally started showing up here in Indiana in a very small amount of bottles. And doing some research here, I'm kind of interested. So, starting off, bottled in bond, if you're not sure quite what that is, kind of a rudimentary way to think about it is, it was a way that the government gave whiskey, in this case bourbon, a seal of quality. It let us know a couple things about what was in that bottle. First of all, we know it's at least 4 years old. In this case, it's 6 years old. It's 50% ABV. It's done up in new American oak casks. All the grain is harvested in a single season and all done up under one master distiller in a government bonded warehouse. On top of that, we know being that it's a bourbon, it's at least 51% corn. I'm really interested because this is a newer distillery hitting the market. To hold on to their bourbon, to not only make it bottled in bond, but to give it a 6-year age statement is not common. They are playing the long game here, and I really hope it pays off well. So let's go ahead and jump into things. As always, we're going to be trying it 2 different ways. First, we neat, no ice, no water. Second, we will add just a drop of water. See if anything changes up. And as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that kind of good stuff. They more recently also released I think it was a wheated bourbon as well. I don't think I've seen that on the shelves, but I've seen it on their website and some of their Instagram pages and stuff like that. I doubt I'll be able to find it, but if I ever do, it'll be linked up above and down below. Oh, I'm excited. And again, being that it's a Missouri, that's a legal classification for them, which we're seeing a lot of states do that. You know, Indiana has their Indiana rye whiskey, things like that. I love seeing states really get behind their products. Beautiful dark color. Yeah, got a good viscous quality in the glass there. Yeah. All right, let's go for notes. Ooh, that is rich, dark, heavy oakiness. There is what is that note? It's like a dark cherry, but it's not quite cherry. Raspberry? Wow. Like a dark raspberry. That is exactly what it is. There's a dark raspberry going on in here. Wow. I was not expecting that. I love it. Beautiful dark spices as well. Like, I wouldn't say necessarily, maybe a little bit of cinnamon and clove, but just good solid spice from grain in there. I would expect there probably be some rye in here. If there's not, it's a beautiful spice layer. But it gives me kind of the vibes of a good rye. But the oak layer, vanillas, the caramels, super heavy. Very oak, very almost tannin heavy, but beautiful on the nose. And that raspberry is throwing me for a loop. I love it. I like it. All right, let's go for a taste. That is good on the palate too. Starts off a little oak heavy, and even still here to the finish, a little oak heavy. But again, it's 6 years old, so I'm not expecting a light weight on that side of things. Beautiful light spice. The vanillas are showing up. The caramel is showing up. That raspberry doesn't necessarily show up on taste, but you do get a light fruitiness going on. The nose had a strong raspberry for it, but the taste, very light. Baking spices are going on here with a little bit of cinnamon and just a nice light waxiness going on. And the oak is kind of now shifting to be more like antique furniture, which I pick up on craft distilleries tend to have this, which is, well-kept, aged antique furniture. It's not musty or damp, but a good solid tannin layer in there. That is good. That is a real solid sipper. To be honest, this is a great, if this was on every shelf, this would be a good one to recommend for somebody that is looking to get into some higher age statements on whiskey. I'm going to be disappointed, I feel like, if they bumped it down to 4 years at some point down the future. I don't know. That 6 years, though, beautifully done. Okay, let's add a little drop of water. See what changes up here. Most likely it's going to go very simple, if I had to guess. Mainly because we're breaking up those oils of that 6 years and that 50% ABV. But that mouthfeel, I love that. All right, let's go for notes on the water version. Yeah, so it actually goes a little floral. The water version brings in some floral notes. A little bit of the oak is showing up, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of ABV, but it's not harsh. A little sweetness in there. I'm getting a little bit of the floral over here on the neat version now. Just a little bit. It's not heavy-handed in that. Beautiful spice layer in there still. Very similar, but a little more mute on things. I'd say at least 30%, muted down from the neat version. Okay, let's go for a taste. A little more cherry comes out on the taste. A little bit heavier in the oak. It's getting a little spicier as well. The ABV is a little warmer on the palate. And here at the finish, it gives a little bitter, but not much. Just a little drop of bitterness going on. Okay. That neat version. That spanks the water version. As always, it doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. That neat version, that's gorgeous. You still get a lot of similar characteristics here. So if you wanted to use this for an old-fashioned or a mixed drink, I think this would do a good old-fashioned, honestly. But that little drop of water makes it I'm not going to say it makes it easier to drink, because that's an easy drinker. It just changes this profile a little bit, makes it a little more simple, I would say. But still not bad. But if you can, get yourself over to that neat version. That's where all the quality and the flavors are at. All right, let's talk about market price, because we all know market price is market price, and it's always going to vary. So here in Indiana, I've seen this go from a lot of different price points. Originally, I was finding it about $60. Some stores had it marked at $65. I picked it up from Meyer. They had one bottle left of it because I started seeing it pop up on some shelves for $54. At $54, this is a steal. Bottled and bond, 6 years old. You don't see that very often. So the fact that they're doing it with that profile, it's not like a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey or a bottled and bond coming from Kentucky at all. This is a whole different beast, and it's beautifully done. Do I think it's worth 60? Yeah. Do I think it's worth 65? I would pay 65 for it. Originally, I was going to pay 60 for it. So if it was $5 more, that wouldn't have bothered me. At 53, get it. If you see this on the shelf in the mid-50s range, that is a beautiful sip. With both those staples on there, 6-year age statement, bottled and bond, and those flavor profiles. I've not had that in another whiskey quite like this. Beautiful. Keep up the great work there at Ben Holladay. You guys are really knocking this one out of the park. It is great. I'm excited to see what your future holds, because if this is your first product on the market, you've set the expectations pretty high, in my opinion. It's beautiful. Great stuff here, folks. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Ben Holladay, bottled and bond, Missouri straight bourbon whiskey. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirit I should go looking for, also let me know down below. Love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
And I really like it might not.